Hey folks, it's Tom and FrugalPrepper. This video is for Carnivore Kip. He recently fell off the Carnivore Diet again, and this is what I do. I'm going to make a shrimp scampi today. This shrimp scampi is not carnivore, it's keto though. It's very clean keto, and once in a while I have to have a very clean keto meal or two, something different, something other than meat. It really helps satisfy that craving. And then I don't get out of ketosis, I don't get all unhealthy, I'm not eating poison, and I feel better, you know, and then I go back to eating meat again. This happens every 2, 4, 6 weeks or so, you know, and I do this. So I decided today I'm going to make my shrimp scampi. I'm going to do this video, I'll tag Carnivore Kip in it and see what he thinks, and that's what we're going to do. All right, so what we have here is spaghetti squash. This is a small one. These I grow in my own garden, but you can buy them in the grocery store. They're like $1.29 a pound. They're usually bigger than this. This is a particularly small one, and I just need a small portion, so I'm making a small one. What you want to do is cut the top and bottom off of this, like so. And then you're just going to take and cut it roughly in half, like so. And then we're going to take and we're going to scrape all these seeds out of it. Okay, so now we're just going to take and scrape these seeds out. Oh. And just make sure you got all the seeds. The little pulp that's left, you don't have to worry about that as long as there's no seeds in it. And there's some more seeds down there I gotta get. There we go. Now we'll do the other half. So this spaghetti squash, when it's cooked, will have about 6 grams of carbohydrates for a full cup of it. And so that's actually really good. Very keto, and it tastes good. It tastes generally like pasta. So it's really good. I mean, it's actually very low in oxalates. It's very good for you. Well, I don't know about good for you, but it's better for you than leafy greens. Okay, so now that we have that done, we're just gonna stick this in the oven, preheated to 350 degrees for about a half hour. If you have a really big spaghetti squash, you might have to go like 40, 45 minutes. But these are definitely going to be done in a half an hour. All right, so we're just going to turn the pan on to low heat. Or, you know, in between medium and low, roughly. And we're going to get out some shrimp. I just use these shrimp you get at Kroger's. They're called sandbar. They're shell off, peeled, and divine, ready to go. And these are they're really big, like large ones. But you can use any shrimp. And we're just gonna kind of load this up with shrimp. And I will say, like, get the raw shrimp if you can, because the pre-cooked ones get kind of chewy when you heat them back up. They're better if they're raw and you have to cook. And you're going to overfill the cans a little bit, because they are going to shrink as they heat up. And stuff. And that's plenty. The amounts aren't really that important. Just, you know, just mix this stuff together. So what I'm going to do now is put about, half a stick of butter or so in here. And so the next thing we're going to do is, just put a small handful of onion. whatever's left in this Ziploc bag. This isn't too important. It depends on how much you like onion, or I normally would use a little bit more than this, but this is what's chopped up in the bag, so it's what I'm going to use. The next thing you want is some minced garlic. I just use this canned stuff that I get at the Dollar Tree, but you're going to kind of put quite a bit of this in there. And you can use fresh garlic or whatever too, if you want. I'm just too lazy to cook up with fresh garlic. Then we're going to take and we're going to put some lime juice in. Like that. We're going to put some lemon juice in. Like that. Then we'll take, I'm going to put some red cayenne pepper in it because I like stuff a little spicy. Don't use as much of this if you don't like spicy, but I like my shrimp scampi to have a little heat to it. There we go. And I always put some black pepper in there too. And so now we're just going to kind of let this cook nice and slow while our spaghetti squash is cooking. And then we'll be all set. Okay, so as we can see, the shrimp have cooked up really nice here. I've turned them just down on completely on low now because I'm going to let these continue to cook. Now I am going to go ahead and put some Redmond's real salt in here, about yay much. And we'll stir that in. And then what I'm going to do is add some heavy whipping cream. So what we're going to do is just take and add some heavy cream. Not a whole bunch, just a little. Right there. And we're just going to take and stir that in. And now our spaghetti squash are ready to come out while this just kind of cooks and just simmers down a little bit on low. Gonna get the spaghetti squash ready. Alright, so my spaghetti squash are out. I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of turn them over. They're very hot, so be careful. But they'll cool down just a little faster if you turn them over. And then we'll let these sit for a few minutes, and then we'll be ready to go ahead and make spaghetti out of them. Okay, so what we want to do is just take a fork and go through the spaghetti squash like so. It's kind of hot, so you just have to be careful with it. Sometimes you can get a second fork. Let me get one here. Kind of help you hold it. And that's good enough for that one. And then we'll get the other one. And we'll just kind of do it too. The other thing I like to do real quick on spaghetti squash, I almost forgot this, is just add a little bit of butter to it and put some salt on it. And then stir that all up in there. It just helps it taste better. You know what I'll do is take my shrimp scampi here and I will just pour it in. You can put the spaghetti squash on a plate and pour it over. I like to just pour it all in there. Then we'll just take and kind of mix that in there. Real nice. Now, this is kind of optional. I like to add some Parmesan cheese. And we'll take and we'll stir that in as well. And now we're ready to plate this up and have some. So now you can just grab some of this and so. Wow. That's so good. A little spicy too. This is a real treat when you're on carnivore to have something that's really good in keto. And I don't do it all the time, but I do it occasionally, especially when I just feel like I'm really craving some carbs. And they've had cake and donuts and candy and all kinds of stuff sitting out, bagels at work. You know, they're all sugar addicts. They're all really fat and overweight and getting big bellies. And they all keep eating sugar. And then they have health insurance contests about eat some fresh fruit and you can win a gift card. To try to make people healthier, but they're still buying donuts for their meetings. So, you know, I avoid that. But after you see that for a while and you're just eating meat, sometimes you're just like, you know, I want something different. And this is really good. And it's different. So that's all I got, folks. I'll talk to you later. This is Tom, your Frugal Prepper.